You know, the internet is kind of like our collective attic. It's this huge, messy, amazing place filled with urban legends, creepy photos, and all sorts of unsolved puzzles. We're so used to them just floating around out there forever. But what happens when one of these mysteries actually gets solved? Well, the answers are often way more bizarre or mundane or even heartwarming than you could ever imagine.
So yeah, that's exactly what we're going to dive into. What do these solutions actually tell us about this digital world we've all built? We're going to look at 3 different cases where digital detectives totally cracked the code, and they range from the super creepy, to the hilarious, to the, well, the truly touching.
All right, let's jump right into our first case, and it all starts in a place most of us visit pretty much every day, an online store. But back on July 14, 2020, one shopper found something really unsettling hiding in plain sight in a totally normal product photo. So a Reddit user named Tagger102 posts this screenshot to the Internet Mystery subreddit with just 2 simple words, "Look closely." It's a product listing for a Dallas Cowboys bag. But when you zoom in on what's inside, it looks, and there's no other way to say this, exactly like a human head with duct tape over its mouth. I mean, people were completely freaked out. Was this a sick prank, a threat, a secret cry for help hidden in an Amazon listing? The company yanked the listing down almost immediately, which of course only made the mystery even deeper.
But get this absolutely terrifying mystery had a surprisingly simple and honestly a pretty hilarious answer. Another user, Candidly Kirsten, decided to play detective. They found a different listing from the same company, this time for a Carolina Panthers bag. And that photo clearly showed that the so-called head was just the cover of a horror book that they were using as stuffing to make the bag look full for the picture.
It's just a brilliant example of how our minds can jump to the absolute worst conclusion online. What looked like some kind of gruesome evidence was really just a product photographer grabbing the first book they could find, totally oblivious to its super creepy cover art. It's a perfect reminder that, sometimes the monster in the shadows is just a really poorly chosen book.
Okay, so our next case takes us from a simple visual trick to a kind of digital ghost that haunted Google search results for years, and in the process, it became this huge, beloved internet meme.
So back around 2018, something really weird started happening. If you Googled who created Kirby, you wouldn't get a picture of the legendary game designer Masahiro Sakurai. No, you got this guy, a completely random, unknown man's mugshot. This glitch went on for a surprisingly long time, and the internet, well, it did what the internet does and turned this mystery man into a massive meme. But the question was, who was he, and how in the world did his mugshot get tied to this cute pink puffball of a video game character?
For years, nobody had a clue. Then, just in 2023, a YouTuber who goes by Turd Tomato decided, I'm going to crack this thing. And let me tell you, it was a painstaking process. He found an early version of the image way back on a forum from 2011, traced it to a mugshot website, and then made a really smart guess that the mugshot probably came from Florida, a state famous for its public arrest records and, well, its pretty colorful mugshots. And then came the really hard part, hours and hours of just manually scrolling through Florida arrest records. And he found him. The face of the Kirby meme wasn't a game developer at all. It was a man named Robert Miller who'd been arrested in Florida way back in 2010. So after 5 long years, one of the internet's most iconic and just plain random mysteries finally had a name. We still don't know exactly how the glitch happened, but the who was at long last solved.
Now for our final story. And this one's different. It takes us away from the weird and right into the deeply human. This one shows us that sometimes the goal of an internet mystery isn't about uncovering a secret, but about recovering a memory.
On February 1st, 2024, a user posted to the Lost Media subreddit with this absolutely heartbreaking request. Their older brother had recently passed away in a car accident, and sadly, the 2 of them had been estranged. This person was just desperate to find this silly old YouTube video their brother had made back in 2008. It was him doing stunts on a purple Hannah Montana bike set to a Weird Al song. As they wrote in the post, they just wanted something funny to remember him by. Now, this request was a total long shot. I mean, the video was over 15 years old, it probably had almost no views, and the description was pretty vague. It seemed impossible, but the Reddit community just immediately got to work, and in less than 2 hours, they found it. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Yes, that is my asshole brother. You have made my night. I am so grateful. It is so raw, so real, and just brimming with emotion. You can feel that incredible mix of grief and humor and just overwhelming gratitude.
In that one moment, the internet wasn't a place of mystery or memes, it was a tool that gave someone a precious piece of their family back.
So, a creepy bag, a case of mistaken identity, and a lost memory. 3 totally different stories, right? But I think they all tell us something really important about the nature of our digital world, and maybe what we're all really looking for when we're online.
So why does all this matter? Well, for one, these stories show us the huge gap between what we see on a screen and what's actually real, how a book cover can become a severed head, or how a random guy's mugshot can become a famous creator. They also highlight the incredible power of people working together online, with whole communities digging through archives to solve a meme, or much more importantly, to find a lost memory. And ultimately, I think these searches reveal this fundamental human desire we all have to connect, with our past and with each other. They remind us that behind every strange image and anonymous post, there is always a human story.
And it really leaves you with one final thought, doesn't it? In an age where our silly videos, our random photos, and even our mistakes can be archived forever, what parts of our digital lives will become the mysteries of the future? And what story are they going to tell when they're finally solved?